it's Black Rat from 287 and welcome to the channel. So today we're gonna do the first video about the series of the top 10 on the Sx20. So we're gonna do as always in two parts for each type of troops. So we're gonna start with cavalry. We're gonna do, because Valaski actually in Roe Academy, Rock Academy now, I guess. Yeah, it's Rock Academy now. Made 3 lists this time, so we're not gonna review the 3 lists. You can check if you want, but I'm gonna do the ones that for me are the most interesting to look at. So we're gonna do the ones for free-to-play, means no skins, no heroes, so really for free-to-play players. And then we're gonna have the full list with all the skins. We're just gonna see the difference between the two. But if you want, there's a third list who have no skins but have all the paid heroes. But I don't think it's that interesting. It's interesting for specific case. If you only have one paid hero, you can check the list to see if it's worse. But it's clearly less interesting than those 2 lists. So we're gonna start now with the free-to-play list. So in this list, actually, I'm gonna more tell you about if there's new lists differences, but for example in the cavalry we're not gonna have really difference because we didn't had any free-to-play cavalry hero this season. So I'm gonna just basically tell you what legion are still in the meta that you can really play and it's gonna be worse, and the ones who are not. So we're gonna be actually pretty quick in this. So top 10 we have Roland, Warhammer and Avalanche. It's an alternative of the Roland Legions that you're gonna see upper, but clearly not the best at all, so it's clearly out of the meta, so not that important. Then we're gonna go for the top 9, which is Rosen, Farah and Lewis. I don't like this Legion at all. I tried it, but I really hate it, so clearly out of the meta also, because you're gonna use Sendiata, of course. Top 8 we have Hellfire, Seed and Lewis. Also, I don't like this Legion, to be honest. For me, it's not that great at all, so also forget it. Then, top 7 we have Roland, Hellfire and Lewis. Also not a fan of this Legion, really not a fan. I tried it, but not big results, so also to forget. Top 6 we have Rosen, Lewis, Sendiata. Another one that I really don't like. I really don't like at all, and really, why you would even do that? Because you're gonna have Farah, so you're gonna put Farah instead of Lewis. It's way better. So actually, all those legions, you can forget them. They are out of the meta. Now it's gonna start to be a little bit more interesting. So as the top 5 we have Roland, Seed, Avalanche, which was, let's say, the best legion when Roland came out, or one of the best legions for Roland Avalanche. It's still good, a little bit less than some others, but it's still playable. So I actually like this legion. Top 4 we have Roland, Seed and Lewis. Well, that's basically just taking out Avalanche for Lewis, but not worth it, because obviously everyone gonna have the Avalanche skin. It's gonna be way stronger than playing Lewis, so also a legion to forget. Then in the top 2 we have Roland, Hellfire and Avalanche. So this legion is working very nicely since few seasons. Also, even if you don't have the skin of Hellfire, it's still gonna be really good. So it's clearly one of the best legions to do as a cavalry free-to-play for me, in my opinion. So basically, yeah, if you don't have Lewis maxed, you're gonna play this. You're gonna obviously play this. It's a very good legion. It's really doing good against the infantry legions right now. So really a good one. Top 2, so it's the same. Since few seasons, I mean, she's always on the top, this legion. So Rosenblade, Farah, Sendiata. It's clearly, in my opinion, really less stronger since few seasons. I don't play it anymore as a normal legion. Sometimes I put it in defensive because I don't have other heroes to put there, but It's not working that great, actually. I'm not a big fan for now of this Legion. It's not working very well. So it's still a usable Legion, but it's clearly not a top Legion in my opinion. It doesn't beat a lot of combos right now. And the top one we have Roland, Lewis, and Avalanche, and clearly this Legion is the strongest to do. 100% the strongest, especially if you don't have the Hellfire skin. So it's the Legion to go. It's very strong. It's doing very great against the infantry top legions. Even against Harald, it's doing really great. So I really recommend you, if you are free to play, to go for this Legion 100%. Like, you can really use this as a secondary Legion, or even you can also use it as a main Legion actually, instead of Harald, because it's really good. And if you don't have big stats in infantry, it's really a good alternative. So now let's go for the free, no, not the free, we finished free to play, we're gonna go for the paid list. Okay, now we are on the paid list with the skins and the paid heroes, so you're gonna see that we're gonna have some differences now, obviously, because we have the heroes like Leo and Caesar and Octavius, so obviously it's gonna change a bit, but actually, even that, the Cavalry free-to-play are still doing very good, actually, in this season. So the top 10, we have Octavius, Cleopatra, and Caesar. Really not important Legion, because there's way better to do with those heroes. You're not going to pair them together if you have those heroes. So just something to forget. Top 9, we have Hellfire, Rosenblade, and Caesar. I don't saw a lot this Legion. I believe it's not that great, and it's the same. You're not gonna put Caesar in this Legion if you have it, so we're not gonna lose time with this. Top 8, we have Roland, Octavius, and Avalanche. It's basically a more defensive Legion with Octavius in the middle row, but clearly the one with the Seed, which is a top 7, as you can see, is actually doing better. I never saw anyone playing this, but when I look to the stats, I really don't think it's really worse to play him instead of Seed. And yeah, it's a paid hero, so you're not gonna buy this to play it in this composition. Then, so top 7, we saw Roland and Seed, Avalanche, so clearly very good Legion. If you have the skin, because the skin is actually really great. It's better than Octavius for sure, but you're gonna see that there's better also than the Seed, so let's go upper. Top 6, we have Octavius, Ragnar, and Caesar, but also I'm not gonna lose time with this because we never see this Legion, but of course Ragnar gonna pair very well with Caesar, because they Ragnar have the fatal blow and destructive strike. It's gonna work perfectly with Caesar for sure. They work together, but it's really better to do, so not very important Legion. Top 5, we have Roland and Ragnar and Avalanche, so we basically have the same Legions that you have top 8, top 7, but with Ragnar, but also not really interesting to buy Ragnar to play it on this Legion, so not worth. I actually not a big fan of Ragnar. You don't see it a lot, and there's really better Legions to do instead of him. So top 4, we have our beloved Rosen, Sendiata, and Farah with the skins. Obviously with the skins, this Legion going to be way stronger, because the 2 skins of Sendiata and Farah are the ones very expensive, the Everlasting or something like this, and they are very strong. So it's going to make a big difference if you have the skins. So it's top 4. Then top 3, we have Roland, Lewis, and Avalanche. So basically the top 1 on free-to-play is top 3 on the paid list. So as I told you, this Legion is very strong, very good. So you just need to have the Avalanche skin, and it's going to be doing really the job. So very good Legion to play. Top 2, we have Roland, Hellfire skin, and Avalanche. So basically they consider that Hellfire skin is gonna be doing better than Lewis. But if you don't have Hellfire skin, Lewis is working better. I actually tried too because I have the Hellfire skin, and yes, I also like more Hellfire with the skin, because you're going to be way more tanky, you have more healing, you can kill more legions at once, because Lewis don't have really sustain. So this legion with Lewis is going to have less sustain, so you're going to probably have, you're going to more easily beat someone in 1v1, and not sure, but if you start to have many legions, it's going to be complicated to kill them also. So I prefer with the Hellfire skin, but if you don't have the skin, play with Lewis. And top one, a legion that we have since a long time, Octavius, Caesar, and Hellfire. I'm going to explain how it works anyway, because Octavius and Caesar are already made to pair together, and the Hellfire is doing his job as a support, and it's pretty strong, so it's the top one of the cavalry. So we saw the two lists. So actually, the cavalry is really still a good unit type to pay this legion. So we had Legion Shield, it was less strong, but now it's doing very great. Even as a free-to-play, you're going to be doing very good damage with this Roland Lewis Avalanche. So very interesting to boost your cavalry skills. So I wanted to say something actually, because I saw in the group that someone was telling that those videos are not useful, what I do right now, because I'm just reading what in the app. Actually, yes, I am reading what Valaski do, because you can also go on the site and just watch the combos and be like, okay, this is strong, and that's it. But clearly, Valaski made a lot of tests. It's a very good job that he is making with his team. But obviously, this is not 100% accurate. It's not really like a list that this one is stronger and this one not. So it's going to work in some castles, depending on the stats. In other castles, it's going to be a little bit different. So I am here also to tell you what legions I tested. I didn't like it. I don't find it interesting. What legion you're gonna need to focus, etc, because I do my own tests also on my side, so I have some how I can say, I'm not always agree with this list. So basically what's in the cavalry, not really, I mean, I am really kind of agree with the list, but you will see that some of the list I'm not that much agree. By my tests I didn't got the same results, so that's why I think it's still important. Anyway, for the ones who don't want to just lose 10 minutes or something, I guess 10 minutes or maybe more, to see my video, they can just go see the list and make their own opinion, but this is all up to you. So anyway, I see you soon for the next video, and peace out.